Hi everybody, welcome to JC Sports Replays. This is our final game of April 6th, 1996. Going to take place at Comiskey Park between the Milwaukee Brewers and the Chicago White Sox. The visiting Milwaukee Brewers will send out their lineup this way. In left field, leading off, Mike Felder. In center field, Robin Yount, batting second. Batting third and playing third base, Paul Molitor. Batting fourth and playing first base, Billy Joe Robideau. Batting fifth and playing short, Ernest Riles. Batting sixth in right field, Rob Deere. Paul Householder is the DH, batting seventh. Playing second and batting eighth, Jim Gantner. And batting ninth and playing catcher, the veteran Rick Cerrone. On the mound today for the White Sox will be, for the Brewers will be Teddy Higuera. The hometown White Sox will send out a lineup that looks like this. Leading off and playing center, John Cangelosi. Batting second and playing third base, Wayne Tollison. In right field and batting third, Harold Baines. In left field and batting cleanup, Carlton Fisk. The designated hitter batting fifth, Ron Kittle. Greg Walker bats sixth and plays first. Tim Hewlett plays second base and bats seventh. Joel Skinner catches and bats eighth, and batting ninth, Ozzie Guillen at shortstop. On the mound today for the White Sox, Tom Seaver. Seaver will start the season in Chicago and later go to Boston, but for expectation purposes, he's going to be a 7-13 pitcher in 28 starts, 4.03 ERA, 180 hits in 176 innings, 56 walks, 103 strikeouts, and 17 home runs. You may hear a little background noise. That's the wife doing some food prep for the week. We really appreciate that. But without further ado, Jim McKeon, the home plate umpire, will say play ball. He's accompanied today by Al Clark at first base, Rich Shulock at second base, and Dan Morrison down the third base line. The Brewers come in from a 71-90 finish in 1985, sixth in the American League East. They're led by manager George Bamberger. The White Sox here will be led by Tony La Russa. They finished third in the AL West in 85, an 85-77 record with one rained-out tie. Take my glasses off because I don't need them. Have a little Pete's Coffee, decaf of course. And we are ready to begin our game. So Seaver on the mound. He'll face the switch-hitting Felder, who'll bat left. The pitch from Seaver, about a 6-8 against the lefty Felder. That's going to be a base hit for Felder, triple 1-8 or a double. The 5 says that is a 3-base hit for Felder, so it rattles around in the outfield there, and he ends up at third. Now, we've done the hold calculations, by the way. It's an average day for baseball. Felder's a 15 to steal home. Well, with nobody out, that would be pretty funny. But we'll keep that in the back of our mind in case things go awry here. So, the corners will be in right away for the center fielder Robin Yount. Felder at third, Seaver holding him on. No, he can't hold him on with the corners in, never mind. So, a 4-9 against the righty Yount. Well, that's triple 1, single 2 to 20. So this run's going to get in. That was cocked, otherwise it would have been back-to-back triples, but Yount with a base hit, and Felder scores easily, and Robin's on first with a single. So Yount with a pretty good chance here. Seaver does not hold runners on well, so we're going to try to get Yount a good lead. He needs a 4 or a 5. Hold on, that's a possible pickoff. Seaver, who doesn't hold guys on well, looks over at Yount, throws over, a 1-11 for Yount to be safe. He's not! He's picked off for the first out of the inning. Seaver caught Yount a little too far off first there, and Robin is retired on a surprisingly quick move by Seaver. Maybe he's been taking his vitamins in the off-season, trying to stave off the effects of old age. It's not easy, folks, to be an athlete. All right, well, that brings up Paul Molitor with 1 out. Seaver deals, it's a 3-7. And he misses this time. That's a base on balls. So Molitor now, he's a 5 or 6 to get a good lead. We'll give him a shot. A 5 is going to be a good lead. Molitor will have a 1 to 19 chance to steal second. And he pretty much walks in there with his first stolen base of the season. Now, he'd be a 1 to 14 to steal third. What the heck? We're going to give it a try. He still needs that good lead. He doesn't get it, so Molitor will hold at second, held closely. And Robideau coming up. The Brewers have big hopes for this lanking first baseman, Robideau. Should have good power, and they hope he can perform here at the Major League level. He's had a few Major League at-bats, I think. 5, 6. Honestly, I don't know Robideau's history very well, except that he was a disappointment, and he disappoints here again with a strikeout. Seaver retires Robideau, and that'll be 2 outs now. Molitor on second, and Riles comes to the plate. Riles bats left, plays short. A little bit of pop in his bat. Seaver with the pitch. Another possible pickoff. Seaver's very conscious. No, that's not a possible pickoff. It's a possible wild pitch, since we're pitching. Seaver's wild pitch number is a 4, so on a 1 to 4, this is a wild pitch. It is! A wild pitch will allow Molitor to get over to third. So adventures in pitching here for Seaver in the first inning. He's picked off a guy, he's thrown a wild pitch, he's allowed a triple, and he struck someone out and walked somebody. He's getting all the columns filled quickly on the stat sheet. So Molitor now at third. They will hold him there, and Riles steps back into the box. The pitch from Seaver, how about a 2-4 against the righty Seaver? Grounded down to second. Hewlett is there. He picks it and fires to Walker to retire the side. So through all this drama, the Milwaukee Brewers only managed to score 1. They do take a 1-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the second. Teddy Higuera will come onto the mound for Milwaukee. Teddy, a very good season at 86. We're expecting to see something like this. 20 wins, 11 losses, and 34 starts, a 2.79 ERA. 226 hits in 248 innings, so less hits than innings, which is always great. 74 walks, 207 strikeouts, and he allowed his fair share of home runs, 26. The left-handed Higuera will face off against John Cangelosi. Let's note that Higuera holds guys on pretty well. He's got a -3 to go with Skinner's -1 arm. Oh, did I calculate this hold rating wrong? So it's -3 and minus... Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Never mind. -3 +1 for Cerrone. So yeah. Combination will hold guys on reasonably well. In any case, here's Cangelosi. How about a 6-4 for the right-hander, Cangelosi here. Shortstop X. Riles is the shortstop, a 4E23. And that's a 2017, so that'll be a G1. G1E2. So Riles gets it. No problem. Double clutches and throws it up the first base line. It's past everybody. Cangelosi will find himself reaching on the E6, and he'll go all the way to second base. So Cangelosi at second, they will hold him. He's not going to try to steal, and Wayne Tollison coming up. Tollison, a pretty good hitter and a very good bunter. So holding Cangelosi at second. Tollison might always lay it down. He's actually going to try to sacrifice here. He will be a bunting A. They're not trying to prevent the bunt. So this is going to be nothing with the 11. So a 6-9 on the sac bunt means third baseman will field, and that's a successful sack for Tollison to get Cangelosi over to third. Tollison's retired for the first out, and Harold Baines comes up. Baines batting left and playing right today. Higuera ready from the stretch. Keeping an eye on Cangelosi, he is holding him. 1-8 against the left-hander. That's a single for Baines. He does what he does best and gets the RBI to tie this game up. So that bunt pays off. And Baines cashes in the run. Baines not really a stealing threat, unless these guys really can't hold anybody. So Fisk is coming up. They are holding Baines on out of courtesy. 1-7 against the left-handers. A single 1-3 or a line out to short. Fisk lines it, but right at Riles, who takes it for the second out. Brings up Ron Kittle, the slugging Ron Kittle. A lot of power in his bat. Just want to make sure we're all on the screen. There we are. And Higuera is ready to pitch to the righty Kittle. How about a 6-5 against the right-hander? Ground ball to shortstop X. Riles again, a 4E23. Is he responsible for holding the runner? Let's see, lefty. Yeah, he is actually. So make that a 5E23. That's not good. 4-11. So that's going to be a single. Yep, that's going to get past Riles because of the hold. Actually, would have got past anyway. Baines over to third with 2 outs, and Kittle on at first. That'll bring up the first baseman, Greg Walker. Another lefty-on-lefty action here. So La Russa showing no fear of the lefty Higuera with his left-handed batters here on opening day. How about a 4-6 against the lefty? Higuera gets him on strikes. Walker retired, and that retires the side. So White Sox pick up 1, and after 1, we've got a brand new ball game all tied up, folks. 1 apiece. A little sip of coffee on this Sunday morning baseball. Don't you guys think that's a thing that should exist? I would love to wake up in the summer to Sunday morning baseball. I really would. A little 9 o'clock game, 10 o'clock game, something like that. That'd be fantastic. Happens very, very occasionally on special events. I think it should be a weekly thing. But I'm an early riser, so. Well, that brings up Rob Deere leading off for the second for the Brewers. Seaver is ready, and he'll pitch to the slugging Deere. How about a 2-7? Pardon me, I hit the table there and gave it a little shake. Seaver can't find the plate, and Deere is on at first. And Deere's got some occasional speed, and with Seaver's poor hold record, well, he's almost picked 2 guys off today, but successfully once. Deere's going to try to get a lead. He needs just a 7. And he gets the 7, but there's the 1 again, the pickoff again. Deere a 1-6, or he'll be picked off. And he is. Seaver picks him off. Tom hyper aware of the opinion about his ability to hold runners today, and he's paying extra attention to them. So that's 1 out, and Paul Householder will come up. He's the designated hitter for the Brewers. Seaver to pitch to Householder, batting left. How about a 1-4? Fly ball to left field. Looks like it'll be no problem for the left fielder Fisk, and Carlton gets there in time. 2 away. Means Jimmy Gantner will come up to bat. Gantner, I guess we could close this up a little bit. Gantner playing second and batting left. 2 outs. Gantner waits for the pitch from Seaver. It's a 4-3. Fly ball out toward right. Baines is a 3E6. He should have a chance at this. See if he can run it down. How about a 3-9? 3 is not looking good. That's a double. Yep, that's going to be a double for Gantner. 2 out double. Gantner into second, well ahead of Baines' throw. And with 2 outs, he's not going to try to steal third. We're not even going to think about it, right? So we'll bring up Rick Cerrone, batting ninth. Cerrone, a solid hitting catcher usually. Seaver delivers. How about a 2-5, a right-hander? That's a fly ball out toward right. This one looks routine for Baines. He waits on it and makes the catch to retire the side. So the Brewers score none, leave 1. They've gone through their lineup once and scored 1. If you could do that all year, folks, you'd be in decent shape. You'd probably play about 500 ball. So Higuera back to the mound. The game is tied, and he will face Hewlett. Is it Hewlett? I don't know. Hewlett, Skinner, and Guillen. Tim Hewlett, the second baseman for the White Sox. How about a 5-7 against the righty Hewlett? That's a strikeout. As the domestic sounds fill the background of this Stratomatic studio. It's okay, babe. She said sorry. She didn't have to say sorry. We live our life here. We're just having some fun playing some games and sharing them with our friends. This is Joel Skinner coming up. Skinner ready for the pitch from Higuera. How about a 3-6 against the left-hander? Ground a ball down to third. Looks like Molitor will handle it and toss it over to Robideau to retire Skinner for the second out. We'll bring up love him or hate him, Ozzie Guillen. Left-handed batting shortstop, waits for the pitch from Higuera. It's almost like La Russa loaded the lineup with lefties against Higuera. That's kind of funny. 1-9, some sort of La Russa reverse psychology or something. Well, Guillen taps this one back to Higuera, who will pick it up and flip it to Robideau to retire the side. So 1-2-3 inning for Teddy. We're still tied at 1 as we head to the third. Seaver back on the mound. He'll face the top of the order, Mike Felder. Felder 1 for 1. He tripled and scored. The only run for Milwaukee so far. Seaver with the pitch. How about a 1-5? That's grounded down toward first. Walker will take it himself. Step on the bag ahead of Felder by a step and retire the first out. Here comes Yount. He singled and drove in a run and then was picked off back in the first. Seaver 5-9 against the righty Yount. That's a fly ball out toward right. Routine for Baines, and that's 2 down. Brings up Molitor. He walked and stole a base. Made it to third on a wild pitch and was stranded there in the first. Seaver a 4-7 against the righty Molitor. He walks him again. And Molitor, with 2 outs, is going to try to get into scoring position. He'll need a 5 or a 6 for a good lead. Well, he gets a 7. He doesn't get a good lead, but you know what? He's still a 1-14 on his second steal success chance, so they're holding him close, but he's off to the races. And a 5 says Molitor steals his second base of the day. So Molitor being held very well. Seaver threw over a few times, but Molitor timed it just right, and he's on at second as Robideau waits in the box, now with an RBI chance. You might say Robideau should always have an RBI chance with the power they expect him to have, but it's a lot easier to hit a single than it is a homer for most guys. So 1-8. That's a grounder back to Seaver. Makes the play over to the first base, Walker, and that will retire the side. 1 left for Milwaukee. Nothing doing, and they still are tied at 1. Bottom of the third, Higuera back to the mound. He will face the top of the order. Cangelosi leads off. He reached on an error and scored. Batting right. How about a 5-4? Ballpark single. That's a 1-10 chance for both sides. Not this time. So batting right, that's going to be right at the shortstop. Riles makes the play and retires Cangelosi for the first out. Here's Tollison. Successful sacrifice his first time up. Still looking for his first official at bat of 86. How about a 2-5 against the lefty? Well, there's his first official at bat, and he is down on strikes. Stood there looking at a close one and paid for it. McKeon rings him up. Tollison, in sad acceptance, heads back to the dugout. So 2 down, here's Baines. Baines singled and drove in the only run for the White Sox back in the first. He waits patiently for the pitch from Higuera. How about a 6-7? Higuera's ahead of this one. The 0-2 pitch catches the corner. Baines tried to check swing, couldn't hold up. See you later. 3 up, 3 down for the White Sox against Higuera here in the third, and we go to the fourth, still tied at 1. A little station break to remind you that this stream is brought to you by Pete's Coffee in a Rook, New Jersey mug. And we're back for the action, folks. Seaver going head-to-head with Higuera here and holding his own. Trying to bring back the clock a little bit. He'll face Riles, Deere, and Householder. Riles 0 for 1 today, grounded out to second his first time up. Seaver delivers. That's a 5-5, strikes him out. So Tom took a little off there, and Riles swung over the top. And there's 1 away. Here's Rob Deere. He walked his first time up. Seaver in the windup. How about a 1-7? Another curveball, and Deere swings past it. That was a little outside, but Deere went chasing, so there's 2 away. Deere is a free swinger. And Householder, the designated hitter, due up. He's 0 for 1. Flew out to left back in the second inning. That one went in the dice box, but that die still tried to get away, folks. Well, let's get a replacement. We'll find him after the game. Got backups now. How about a 4-8? against Householder batting left. That's going to be a fly ball to center. Cangelosi is there and will make the play for the third out of the inning. So Seaver sets them down in order, 1, 2, 3. No change in the score, still 1-1. Bottom of the fourth, Higuera back to the mound. By the way, if you're wondering, Higuera's an 8 POW and Seaver's a 6. We'll bring up Fisk. Fisk 0 for 1 today.
Do you know how the baseball players have a bat boy?
Yeah.
You need a dice boy.
Well, thanks, babe.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I don't think we can do that though. That's probably against the law or something. We didn't have any kids, so.
Yeah, but Oscar or Mickey will get it.
Yeah, they'll eat it. She's suggesting I have the dogs chase the dice down, guys. I don't know what to do. We're just going to keep going and have the backups. I'll recover the dice after the game. So, Carlton Fisk due up against Higuera. That was a 2-6 against the lefty. Pops it to third. Let's see. Molitor's going to be there to make the play. 1 away. And Ron Kittle. Kittle 1 for 1 today. That one jumped, so we re-roll. How about a 1-7? Strikes him out. Pardon me, folks. A little off my rhythm here. Kittle strikes out for the second out, and Walker's due up. He struck out his first time up, and Higuera into the windup. The pitch to Walker is a 2-4. This one's back behind the plate. Cerrone is looking to see if he has room. He does, and he makes the catch over by the dugout. And that's 3 away. 1, 2, 3 for Higuera here. Both teams, both pitchers setting him down in order in the fourth. We go to the fifth. With the pitchers dominating, the offense is struggling. Jim Gantner, Rick Cerrone, and Mike Felder due up. Gantner doubled his first time up. Seaver delivers a 5-9. Gantner left-handed. That's a fly ball out towards that right field, yes. Baines is there. Gantner's down, 1 away. Here's Cerrone. Oops, that one didn't go in. What a 2-8. Grounded down to third. It's going to be picked up by Tollison, and he tosses to Walker to retire Cerrone in plenty of time. Cerrone not known for his speed. These days, Rick Cerrone's probably largely forgotten. But he was a pretty good player in his day. Well, that'll bring up Felder. 1 for 2 today. Tripled and scored a run. The only run so far. How about a 3-8 against the righty? Grounded back to Seaver. He picks it and tosses quickly to get the speedy Felder for the third out. So Seaver now retired 7 in a row. Nothing doing here for the Brewers in the fifth. The White Sox come back up to face Higuera. They will send Hewlett, Skinner, and Guillen. Tim Hewlett 0 for 1 with a strikeout so far. How about a 2-6 against the lefty? Grounded down to short. Riles picks it. Tosses to Robideau to retire Hewlett. 1 away. Catcher Joel Skinner due up. He grounded out his first time up. He'll wait for the pitch from Higuera. About a 3-6. This one's grounded down toward third as well. Molitor picks it, fires across to Robideau, and Skinner is retired. 2 quick outs here for Higuera in the fifth inning. And that'll bring up Guillen. Guillen grounded back to Higuera his first time up. About a 3-7. Strikes him out. So the pitcher's matching 1, 2, 3s the last 2 innings. Higuera has actually retired, oh boy, 13 in a row. He hasn't let anybody get on base since the first. We'll see if it comes out for the sixth. We'll see how his stamina holds up. This is his point of weakness inning, you Strat heads. So Seaver ready. Yount ready. 1 for 2 today with an RBI is Yount. How about a 4-6? Yount right-handed, down on strikes. Seaver painting the corner there. And Yount just stood there thinking it was ball 4 on a full count. So Molitor in the box. Walked twice and stole 2 bases today. He has not been able to come around to score. What a 3-7. Make that walked 3 times, folks. Paul Molitor knows how to get on base. He will not swing at a bad pitch. And Molitor will try to get a lead. That's an 8. He'll be a 1-14 second steal. He's going to go for it again. And he's in there with the steal. That might be a catcher's throwing error. Skinner will make an error on a 1-9. That is an error. So the stolen base and the E2. The third steal of the day for Molitor. Frustrating Skinner and Seaver. And he ends up at third on the error on Skinner. So all of a sudden we got a runner on third with just one out. And they're going to have to play the corners in against Robideau. Robideau not going to drop a bunt down, but with a tight game like this, the way Higuera's pitching, you can't afford to give up another run here. Seaver ready. The pitch to Robideau. That's cocked, so we'll re-roll. How about a 1-8 against the right-hander? Grounded back to the pitcher. I believe he's going to hold him. Just double check. Yep, he looks. Molitor back to third and throws over to retired Robideau. That's 2 away. So that'll bring up Riles. They're still holding Molitor at third. 1-8 against the right-hander. Fly ball to left. Fisk is there, and the side is retired. So Molitor stranded to third, no score. We're still tied at 1 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Top of the order coming up for the White Sox, Cangelosi, Tolleson, and Baines. Higuera, as I've said, has retired 13 in a row. Probably just jinxed him. Let's see, 5-9. Cangelosi batting right. Nope. Hit that 14 in a row. Another strikeout for Higuera. Here's Tolleson, 0 for 1 with a sac bunt earlier. Higuera 6-8 against the right-hander. Pops this one up on the infield. Riles calls everybody off to make the play. 2 away. And that brings up Harold Baines. Baines 1 for 2 in RBI and a strikeout today. Baines has power. On a 4-6. He swung a little too hard there, though. And Higuera gets him chasing the curveball. So another 1-2-3. 16 in a row retired for Teddy. We'll head to the 7th. All knotted at 1. So Seaver will face Deere, Householder, and Gantner. Rob Deere 0 for 1 today, a walk and a K. Here's the pitch, 5-5. Grounder down to third. Picked there by Molitor. Picked there by... Molitor's not playing for the other team. That's picked by Tolleson. And he fires to Walker. 1 away here in the top of the 7th. Here's Householder. He's 0 for 2 today, a couple of fly balls. He's trying to reach the fences, but failing. What a 5-5. Well, he's going to loft this one in the air again to the left field. Fisk will be there and make the play to retire Householder. 2 down now here in the 7th. And it's Gantner. 1 for 2 with a double today. We got a jumper. Stayed on the table, though. We got a 5-5 against the lefty Gantner. That's out to left as well, and Fisk will have no trouble with it. Seaver picking up where he left off. A walk in the air didn't bother him last inning, and he continues mowing guys down. It's the 7th inning stretch. We head to the bottom half. Higuera comes out, having retired an awful lot of guys in a row. I lost count. 16 in a row. And he'll face the heart of this White Sox order, Fisk, Kittle, and Walker. The venerable veteran Carlton Fisk playing left today. He'll probably do some catching this year as well. Waits for the pitch from Higuera. Fisk 0 for 2. Hasn't gotten out of the infield yet. How about a 6-10? Grounded on the on the ground. Grounded on the ground to third base. The third baseman for Milwaukee is Molitor. He's a 3E27. How about a 19-14? It's going to be a G1. G1 nothing, so Molitor picks it. Fires over to Robideau. And Fisk is retired. 1 away. Ron Kittle due up. Ronnie is 1 for 2 today. He struck out his last time up. Higuera 1-6. And Kittle down on strikes again. Higuera with the high fastball on. Kittle went looking for it. Couldn't catch up. Higuera with a sneaky fastball. But good breaking stuff. Makes it hard on hitters when he's on his game. If he can throw those breaking balls for strikes, look out. And that's what he's doing today. I'll bring up the first baseman, Greg Walker. Un momento, por favor. A small technical difficulty as Babe turns on the television to go do some power washing. She's playing Power Wash Simulator, and I keep telling her she should stream it on her own Twitch channel, but she hasn't gotten there yet. Well, we're having some fun. Walker is ready for the pitch from Higuera. Lefty on lefty. Got a jumper. How about a 6-6 left-handed? Double 1 to 10 or a fly ball to center. That's a double. That's going to break up the consecutive batters retired streak at 18. So Walker on with a double, 2 outs, and Tim Hewlett waits for the pitch from Higuera. The base hit here could give the White Sox the lead. La Russa looking on intently. How about a 5-5? Well, that's going to be a normal power home run 1 to 7 or a double. Hewlett does have the power, so let's see how it turns out. Either way, the run's going to score. That's going to be a 2-base hit for Hewlett. And suddenly Higuera gives up back-to-back doubles after 18 in a row retired and is trailing. White Sox take a 2-1 lead, and here comes Joel Skinner. 2 outs. From the stretch, here's the pitch. Ooh, possible wild pitch. Only a 1 to 2 chance. Nope. So we'll re-roll the 6s. How about a 2-11 against the lefty? Ground ball, first base. Roboto picks it and flips to Higuera to retire Skinner. 1 left, but the White Sox do score a run. We'll head to the 8th. Chicago now here at home with a 2-1 lead over the Milwaukee Brewers. Seaver pitching well. He's going to come out for the 8th. And he'll face Cerrone, and then the top of the order, Felder and Yount. So Cerrone is, 0 for 2 today. Here's the pitch, a 6-3. A fly ball out toward left. Fisk will have a chance. He's a 4.22. Showing his age out there a little bit. It's going to be a 6-13. Single 2. And... oh, lost track. Just a single. That's going to be a base hit for Cerrone. That's what they needed to start the inning. Yeah, I wonder if we'll have a pinch runner here. Let's take a look at who the Brewers have available. They do have catcher Charlie Moore, who's got a little bit of speed. They also have Rick Manning, who's very quick and can steal a base. So they're going to do that. They need to try to tie this one up. Cerrone's going to finish his day 1 for 3, and there'll be a pinch runner. And it'll be Rick Manning. Manning will try to get a good lead with nobody out. He needs a 2-6 or a 9 against Seaver. It's an 8, so no good lead. He'd be a 1-13, but we're going to be a little conservative. Flip him like that so we know he needs to be removed or positioned when they go on defense. And that'll bring up Felder. Felder, 1 for 3 today, tripled, scored a run. He's not a good bunter, but he might hit and run here. In fact, he will. So he'll be a hit and run B. Waits for the pitch from Seaver. How about a 4-9? Felder batting left, and that's a straight up single. Oscar didn't like that single. He went to check it out. Felder with a base hit. Manning over to third. And the dogs are alerted. Quite so. So I think that's going to be it for Seaver, folks. A little station break while we get the dogs under control. We'll be right back. All right, folks, we'll resume our play here. We're looking for a pitcher for the White Sox. Seaver's had enough today. He leaves the game with the lead, but with first and third and nobody out here in the 8th. La Russa tried to let him go. Seaver showing signs of fatigue, so who's going to come in to pitch against? We got a righty, 2 righties coming up. And we're probably going to have to... well, I don't know if they're going to play the infield then. They might look for the double play. They're playing at home. So it looks like it's going to be Gene Nelson. Nelson's going to come in and try to get Seaver out of this jam. So Seaver is done. He went 7 innings, retired none here in the 8th. And Gene Nelson is a pitcher 3E0 with a 3 fatigue rating. All right. Well, Nelson's ready. Let's see what we're going to do with the infield here. You know what? They are going to play the corners in and try to cut off the run. Yount is a good bunter. He's also a good hitter, though, so this opens it up for him to try to get a base hit. He's not bunting. And how about a 5-8 against the right-hander? Ground ball, second base X. Second baseman is not in, so that doesn't affect anything. Well, we got a jumper. Another jumper. Come on, 20. Stay in the field of play. That's going to be a 1-6. Hit and run, right? That's what I said. So he'll actually be a hit and run B with the corners in. That's going to be ground ball to second base C. The run will score. And yeah, with a ground ball RBI, Felder goes to second. By the way, we got to redo the hold here. -1 for Nelson. -1 for Skinner. That's a -2. So -4, -6. So Yount is retired. And with 1 out and Felder at second, Paul Molitor comes to the plate. Molitor has walked 3 times today and stolen 3 bases. Has yet to come around to score. Maybe he could drive one in here and tie the game up. Or actually give the Brewers the lead. It is tied up. How about a 3-8 against the righty Nelson? Well, guess what, folks? That's Paul Molitor's 4th base on balls of the day. He has not yet swung at a pitch. And he and Jim McKean seem to have some sort of special relationship because he keeps awarding Molitor first on some pretty close pitches. But Molitor's not going to swing if he knows he's going to get credit for him. So now it's first and second with 1 out, and Billy Joe Robideau coming up. The big slugger, 0 for 3 today so far. A strikeout and 2 groundouts back to the pitcher. He'd like to elevate one into the outfield. How about a 2-9 against the right-hander? Well, instead, Robideau is going to ground this one down toward Tim Hewlett. Hewlett picks it, flips to Guillen at short. Guillen onto Walker. They complete the double play, a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. And George Bamberger looking at Billy Joe Robideau like, what's wrong with this kid? There's a big RBI chance there for Robideau, and he did not come through. So Manning going to come out of the game and give way to the backup catcher. Well, today anyway, Charlie Moore. Manning did his job. Came in as a pinch runner and scored the run. Now he'll come in. Now Charlie Moore will come in and catch. Moore is a catcher 3-0 arm, E8, T2, P3. So 2 throwing errors and 3 pass ball possibilities. And that's it for the Brewers in the 8th. But they tie it up. Very important. Seaver's out of the game. And Higuera can still win it. He's still in there. He will face Guillen, Cangelosi, and Tolleson. Guillen 0 for 2 with a strikeout. A little sip of that morning Java to keep me sharp. Well, there's no caffeine in it, Bob, so how's it going to keep you sharp? Where'd that hair come from? I'm shedding. Guillen waits. 4-12 left-handed, and that's a base on balls. First walk issued by Higuera today. Getting a decent steal chance, but Higuera holds him close, so it's going to be up to Cangelosi. Cangelosi, we're going to pull a hit and run off here. LaRusso's going to send the runner. It's going to be a 2-9. Hit and run with the hold on will be a B. Lead runner, let's see. Grounder, that's a grounder to short. The batter's safe, the lead runner's out. So Guillen will be retired on the 6-4. No problem there to go the short way for Riles, and Cangelosi reaches on a fielder's choice. Cangelosi would be a 1-14 to steal. Well, we're going to try to get him in scoring position. They tried to get Guillen in scoring position with nobody out. Now they'll try to get Cangelosi in scoring position with 1 out with the stolen base. Cangelosi 2-6 or 11-12. He rolls a 4, so he will have a good lead, and his 18 minus 4 will be a 14. He steals it easily, 4 on the die. Cangelosi with his first stolen base, and now he's in scoring position for Wayne Tolleson. And Tolleson with 1 out, probably not going to try to bunt him over to first, so they're holding Cangelosi, the infield normal, looking for a double play. And Higuera, the lefty, deals to Tolleson batting right. How about a 2-6? Single for Tolleson. That's going to score a run and give the White Sox a lead. Lines it right up the middle. And all of a sudden, Higuera's losing again, with only 1 inning left for his Brewers to find a run and tie it up. Hopefully only 1. Right, so there's Tolleson. He could get a good lead if he wanted to, but he wouldn't have a good chance of success, only a 1-11, so he's going to wait while Baines comes to bat. Baines could hit and run, but that would take away some of his power, so instead, Higuera's going to deliver, and Baines will wait for the pitch, looking to swing away. How about a 6-4 left-hander? Ground ball shortstop X. Riles a 4E23. Is he responsible for holding the runner? He is, so a 5E23 again for Riles. Not good news. And there's a 4-7. Almost certainly going to be a base hit. It is a single, too. And no error. So a single for Baines. And that's probably going to be it for Higuera. Tolleson over to third. And Teddy's going to come out with 1 out here in the 8th. Trailing, he can only lose it. Close game here between these two mediocre 1985 teams, hoping to improve this year. And let's see, with Fisk coming up, followed by Kittle, and looks like a lot of righties coming up, actually. So let's see what we got. We can go Plesac. Nope, he's a lefty. How about Clear? Clear's a righty. So Mark Clear will come on and try to staunch the bleeding and give his team a chance to tie it up in the 9th. So Higuera is done. He went, let's see, 8.1? No, 7.1. And Clear is a 3E19 with a 2 fatigue rating. So the righty Clear will face Fisk. The corners are in. Actually, you know what? No, the corners are not in. I don't really want to concede a run here, but it's not the go-ahead run or the tying run. They're already down by a run, so they're going to be looking for a double play to end this inning, especially with Fisk, a slow runner. So Baines is not held. They tell him, go ahead if you want to. They're going to try to play this one and get a ground ball up the middle. How about a 1-8 against the right-hander? Well, it's hit on the line, but right at Molitor, who takes a step to his left and makes the catch to retire Fisk for the 2nd out. So Molitor retired, 2 down now, still runners at 1st and 3rd. The White Sox have a run in and the lead. And Ron Kittle comes to the plate, 1 for 3 today. Kittle has struck out twice. Clear with the pitch. We got a cocked white die there, so how about a 5-7 against a right-handed batter, and he is down on strikes. Hold on 1 second. That's where Higuera came out. So Clear able to get out of the inning without further damage. But Milwaukee trails by 1 as we head to the 9th. Nelson is the current pitcher. Let's see if we're going to stick with him. Yeah, he's got 6 saves. I think we're probably going to stick with him. He's better than Bob James or Dave Schmidt. We could bring Bobby Thigpen. We want to start going down that road, but Thigpen would be a hell of a closer if we don't mind the usage. And we don't. Well, you know what? We're not going to burn the bullpen up. Nelson's very good here. What we got coming up? Let me see that. Lefty, righty, and a switch. Now we're going to let Nelson try to get things. We're going to let Nelson try to take the win here and not have a save. So he's got plenty of fatigue effort left. Oh, shoot, when did he come out? I believe it was here, right? Yep. So Nelson on the mound. Riles awaits. Riles 0 for 3 today. Didn't need to roll that 20, but we did anyway. How about a 5-9 left-hander? Ground ball down to short. Guillen is a 2E24. How about an 18-10? That's going to be a G1. And nothing doing. So Guillen picks it, fires to Walker, and Riles is retired for the first out. Brewers running out of outs here. Rob Deere. This is a guy who could tie this game in a hurry. Nelson should be careful with him. I don't know if it's in Nelson's nature to be careful with anybody. He comes right after him. It's a 5-9 against the right-hander. Gets a ground ball to the shortstop. Guillen will be tested again. 2E24 with nobody on. How about an 18-14? That's going to be a G1. Nothing. So Guillen again makes the pick and fires to Walker to retire Deere. Householder due up. Householder yet to show anything of himself. Designated hitter today. Batting left against the righty. And Nelson is ready. 2 outs. Top of the 9th. The Brewers need at least a base runner to keep this game going. The pitch from Nelson. How about a 2-3? That's grounded on the ground again toward Walker at first. He picks it. Makes the flip to Nelson to retire the side and end the game. So when it's all said and done, ladies and gentlemen, the Chicago White Sox end up with a 3-2 victory over the Milwaukee Brewers. The win is going to go to, let's see, I believe, is it Nelson? Brain not working. Yeah, the win's going to go to Nelson because the go-ahead run was scored after he came in the game. The loss will go to Teddy Higuera. And that's where we will leave it on opening day. Seaver pitched well, but could not get the victory. And that's all for our very first opening day here on JC Sports Replays. There are only 5 games on the schedule for April 6th, so we'll be moving on to April 7th. I will be posting standings each day as a post on the YouTube channel, just so everybody can keep track of the replay. So I hope you're enjoying it so far. We're working out some of the kinks with the dice with our backup dice. We might have to put up a railing around the table the way things are going, but even with the dice box, these dice are a little jumpy. Maybe it's just my excitement. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. My name is Joe. This has been JC Sports Replays with some Stratomatic 1986 baseball. We'll see you tomorrow for some April 7th games. I hope you have a good one. Enjoy your Sunday and the football on later. I can't watch it. I'm going to a wedding, but that's okay. That's what life's all about. All right, folks. Be well. See ya.